It's competition time!
You'll have gathered by now, it's competition time.
Yeah, I'm excited.
For the over 8s. Over 8s competition. It's quite a nice one. Earlier on in the programme, if you were watching closely. By the way, did you spot the deliberate mistake, or haven't we made it yet? Earlier on, we were talking to Mike Hurst about pigs. And so the theme of our over 8s competition is pigs. Let's have a look at the diagram on my left over here. Any second now inside your telly. We have a diagram, 9 piggies in a pen. 9 piggies in a pen. If you can add 2 more squares to this diagram so that each piggy has its own pen, then you'll be in line to win one of our spliffing prizes. I'll explain this again. 9 piggies within a square. Add 2 more squares to the diagram so that each piggy has its own individual pen, and send your answers on a postcard to this address coming up nowish.
Just a minute, I must show you, we've got the prizes. We've got Bruce Penhall modelling one of the prizes.
This is the address. Wait for the address.
Bruce and I are going to go over the other side of the studio to talk by his bike while they're trying to clear the studio. It's like a madhouse going on.
While that is going on...
We'll fight our way through while you give them the address.
Come back to me over here while that's going on, and I shall go back to last week's Barbara Woodhouse competition. Yes, this television set here. Last week, Barbara was in the studio, and she signed copies of her book, and she said to you, where should you take your doggy with a lead on it? Where should you keep a dog on its lead? The answer, as I found out earlier from her this week, is of course anywhere near a road or traffic or any form of traffic. Winners of the Barbara Woodhouse books: Deborah Hartshorn of Brearley in Barnsley, to Michelle Grant of Streatley in West Midlands. Such a lovely picky there. And also Graham Beattie of Mount Vernon in Glasgow. But I'd like to thank also the person who sent me this letter this week, dear Tiswas, especially Sally, Den, Foggy and the other twit.
Oh, thank you.
Now, let's go over to that side of the studio and our inside broadcast unit, and cut!
Yes, we're not... Well, just about made that in time with about half a second to spare. Welcome to you, Bruce. Lovely of you to come and see us. World Speedway champion. Before we chat, let's in fact have a look at the winning heat of the World Championship, which was held at Wembley earlier this year. The heat, in fact, that clinched the title for you. And Bruce is on the very extreme left of your picture in the yellow helmet.
Fighting down there as they settle for the start of heat 14. And again, it is Penhall from the outside, and Knudson's drifted across, and Penhall has spotted the move and kicked him off as clean as a whistle, or has he? Knudson's come back under him, and this is sensational speedway. So Knudson leads it. Penhall's in all kinds of trouble back in second place, but that really was absolutely terrific action around the first lap. And Knudson it is. What a surprise packet, this young man. He's in front, second place. Penhall having to work very hard. Can he possibly regain the ground? We saw him earlier come from the back in the most startling fashion against Ole Olsen, and now he's gaining again on Tommy Knudson. Penhall around the outside again, trying to find the drive. Knudson's looking for him. They're into the last lap, just 344 metres of Wembley to go, and here comes Penhall again. And I think he's going to go round him. They're absolutely level, neck and neck, elbow to elbow, and Penhall is stretching him. Penhall's gone by, and has he done him? It's on the line, and it's absolutely neck and neck. Who's going to sort that one out? I think Penhall might just have got up by about the width of a tyre.
Amazing, and of course, Bruce, you're the first American to win that title since 1937.
Yeah, it was a great feeling to win it at Wembley. Everybody said it's so nice to win the World Championship at Wembley because of the atmosphere, and it was fantastic, and I love to do it, not only for the sport, but for myself and everybody in America and everybody
in fact, Ronald Reagan sent you a telegram of congratulations, didn't he?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was quite thrilled about that, really. I wasn't really expecting anything like that, but my promoter from Cradley, Pete Adams, got that arranged, and usually it takes a long time to get that organized, but they presented that to me the night that I came back to my home track at Cradley.
Now, your home track is Cradley. You came over here, what, was it 4 years ago?
Yeah, I've been racing here in Britain for the last 4 years, and I plan to do so for another few anyway.
Why did you come to England to carry on with the sport?
Well, the riders are so fantastic over here, you know. I mean, every heat I go in, I never get an easy heat anymore, and to become world champion, you could never do it in the States. We only have a couple of tracks, and I know the best tracks and the best riders are here in England, so that's the reason we came here.
It's nice to hear you say that, actually, because with so many sports, we've got the English sporting people dashing off to America, because they're usually over there. In fact, they're streets ahead of us, but we're tops at this, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. So, say 3 years ago, we only had 3 or 4 Americans here,
Yeah.
and now this year we have 14, and I'm sure we'll have another, say, 4 next year or so.
Yeah. Now, this, of course, is the bike that we just saw you riding. Absolutely amazing. Of course, they have no brakes, do they, speedway
No,
bikes?
they're 500cc. They weigh about 160 pounds. There's no brakes. There's only one gear. You just let the clutch out and she goes. But it'll do about 0 to 60 in probably less than 2 seconds, so they're quite quick.
And, of course, I mean, what amazed me watching that particular film, at one point, you're sort of going sideways, skidding along, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it depends on what size the track is, really. The smaller tracks, it doesn't look like we ever get straight. But
Yes.
and on the big tracks, of course, we hardly slide at all. The object is not to slide to slide as least as you possibly can, to try to get as much traction as you can to go quicker.
What kind of training is involved?
Well, we can't train very hard during the season because I ride on the average of 5 times a night. 5 times a week. And it's very, very hard to train. It's hard to get up in the morning because I get home sometimes at 3 and 4 in the morning because we travel so much. And
Yes.
during the winter, we train very hard, ride bicycles, jog, lift weights on a special weight training program, and try to straighten out our proper diet because it's so hard to eat the right foods while you're on the road, and it's very hard. And by the end of the season, we're usually very drained.
So it's 8 month season, isn't it? And then you go back to America for 4 months, do you?
Well, I go back to America for 2 months, and then I'll go to New Zealand and Australia to ride there for the off season to get a little sun. Because
Yeah.
I am from the beach, and I miss the sun.
Yes, this country must be murder for you. And I know, actually, you've had several offers from Hollywood, haven't you?
Well, I shouldn't say several offers, but we've had a couple, and when I go home next week, I plan on looking into these things, and I just got hooked up with a fantastic agency, so hopefully everything will change for the best.
Is it true we're going to be seeing you in an episode of Chips fairly shortly?
Well, we're just coming to an agreement right now, but yeah, there will be something next year.
So one day when you've finished on the track, you think you might go into acting?
Well, you know, racing's in my blood, and it always has been, so it's going to be pretty hard to tear me away from these motorcycles.
Now, Bruce, absolutely, over here, I must just grab this set of your leathers. Absolutely fantastic, this. And
Fantastic
on
with
the back.
holes in it.
Oh, no, but it's great. They're actually yours.
Yes.
And you've very kindly brought this along to give away in a competition. Can you tell us what the question is?
Well, who won the United States National Championship in 1972?
Okay, can you just repeat that?
Who won the United States National Championship in 1972?
Right, okay. Entries to our usual address, which is Tiswas, ATV Land, Birmingham, B1 2JP. Thank you very much, Bruce. Absolutely lovely for you to come in and see us today. Thank you for bringing this along.
The CBS Children's Film Festival, presenting motion pictures from all over the world for and about children. Today, the grand prize winner of the Venice Film Festival, Testa de Rapa. Your film festival hosts, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie.